Right now on Chris 6 Sunrise, if you've lost track of all the latest water updates, you're probably not alone. So we have details on the next information session and your chance to get answers. Plus, lane closures are expected to begin this week on the JFK Causeway. What you need to know before you head out the door. And mosquitoes are out in full force. How you can protect yourself as we prepare for more rain and the mosquito aftermath. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. I'm Michelle Hoffman. Brian Hoffman is off. And you know what? Because of the weather, it looks like we do have a couple of power outages to tell you about. Over in Aransas County, there are fewer than 5 at this time. But let's go ahead and take a look at Live Oak County. Fewer than 5. But now we will turn things over to Nueces County. That's where the number gets big. So far, 1,020 customers are reporting outages in that area. And we got to pin the culprit, right? Meteorologist Stephen Jones. I think the weather has something to do with those outages, right?
I think they could potentially be causing some of that trouble. Not me, myself, of course. I'm not going to be responsible for the weather, but the weather is going to be shaping up as we go through the rest of the day. We're expecting more of those heavy downpours and thunderstorms at times, so hopefully we don't see the power outages number go up, but I also wouldn't be surprised to see that number go up as we go through the rest of today and into tomorrow. On the SPID Skycam, you can see some of those wet roadways so far as we're starting out the day, but luckily the rain here in Corpus Christi started to come to a pause, at least for right now, but going to expect more of that as we head through the rest of our morning and into our Monday afternoon. And with our already saturated soils, that's what's led the National Weather Service to issue this flood watch in effect currently through tomorrow evening at about 7 p.m. because we're expecting more of those rounds of heavy downpours at times. The storm that did work through Corpus Christi now working its way into San Patricio, Refugio, and Aransas counties. Not quite into Rockport, maybe Aransas Pass getting in on some of that light rain, but looks like the heaviest rain working on a line from about Sinton through Bayside right now. But when we take a wider radar view, we are already seeing a little bit more development. At least right now, it's mainly over the water, but going to expect this activity to continue its trek off to the north over the next couple of hours. Through the rest of our Monday, of course, we're going to be on the warm-up chasing those 80s, but only about the mid-80s for our daytime highs, with plenty of humidity to go around in those rounds of showers and storms at times as we head into our Monday afternoon. But let's get you ready to hit those roadways for your Monday morning. So far on the traffic flow map, shaping up pretty nicely out there. If you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking at that good and green color flow so far, and that's going to be the same for our Robstown and Calallen commuters. So far, no issues to report on 37 or 44 out there. If you're hitting the major roadways here in Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga, luckily all coming in the clear. That means one more detour inland. Good morning to neighbors out there in Beeville. So far, so good. Also on your traffic flow map, just keep in mind we're also still seeing those heavy downpours working through the area for all of us, so something you want to be mindful of that ponding on the roadways. Of course, we'll get you a good look at that future tracker coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you so much. The city of Corpus Christi is getting ready to host its 4th community water session. This will take place next Wednesday on June 24th. It will be over at the Moody High School gym. The city manager and Corpus Christi water staff will be available to answer your questions. The session starts at 6 p.m. Folks, expect traffic delays on the westbound side of the JFK Causeway starting today. TxDOT is launching a single lane for a maintenance project. Crews will be there from 9 until 4 every day, and the westbound closures will last through the end of June. Then work will switch to the eastbound lanes. The CDC says the mosquito is the deadliest animal in the world. About 12 species of these insects can spread harmful germs to people and animals in the U.S. So Mandy Gaither explains how you can protect yourself against mosquitoes in your yard, in your home, and on your body.
They're more than just a nuisance. Mosquitoes kill more people than any other creature in the world, spreading diseases like dengue, West Nile, Zika, chikungunya, and malaria. This time of year, they're out for blood.
First, they smell you. Then they see you, and then they sense the warmth from your skin and eventually land on you.
Connor McMenamin with Johns Hopkins Bloomberg School of Public Health says mosquitoes love to breed during the summer months, especially when there's a lot of rainfall and puddles in which they lay their eggs. The CDC says more than 200 types of mosquitoes live in the continental U.S. and U.S. territories, and about a dozen of those spread germs that can cause illnesses. But you can't tell if a mosquito is making you sick when it bites.
It's important to protect ourselves against mosquitoes and enjoy a bite-free summer.
To do that, McMiniman says to keep mosquitoes away from your home by removing standing pools of water that could be in potted plant bases or drainage areas, and use window screens. When mosquitoes are most active, cover up by wearing long sleeves and pants. Finally, he says to avoid natural or homemade insect repellents and go with one that's EPA registered instead.
Because they've been tested for safety and also efficacy against mosquitoes found in the United States.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Parents, we have a baby formula recall to warn you about. Nara Organics is voluntarily recalling all lots of its powdered infant formula. The company says the move is out of an abundance of caution due to the potential risk of botulism. The formula was distributed nationally across Target retail stores and platforms. At least 3 infants in different states have been hospitalized. No deaths have been reported. So we're less than a month away from America's 250th celebration. We'll show you how one automaker's invention put the world on wheels and built the American middle class. As we celebrate America 250, we look at Henry Ford's assembly line. Its introduction had far-reaching effects on both industry and transportation, and the technology is still thriving today. Scripps News Group's Mike Duffy got a chance to go to Ground Zero and take a look back at its history.
The first Model Ts were hand-built at the Detroit Paquette Avenue plant, but the modern assembly line was invented and perfected at the Ford Highland Park plant. Then, as demand for the automobile expanded, it was time for a bigger facility.
So tell me about where we're standing today.
We're standing today at the Dearborn Truck Plant at the famous Rouge complex that Ford began building in 1917. We're watching F-150s come off the line.
Today, a brand new Ford F-150 is minted every 53 seconds. It's an engineering marvel, and it didn't happen overnight.
Tell me kind of about the evolution of the assembly line as it pertains to Ford.
In 1908, the Model T was developed, and it was the car that put the world on wheels, affordable car, designed from the beginning to be a mass-produced car. And it was done at Paquette, but they were all hand-built at Paquette. The idea with Ford management, they had seen slaughterhouses, how a cow would go down the line and be slaughtered. And within the munitions industry, rifles were often produced by going down the line. And so P.E. Martin and Henry Ford got the idea that they could do this with a car.
And we also say like the modern assembly line. What's the difference?
The modern assembly line is one of continuous movement, where it starts at one end and it finishes at the other end as a completely finished product. And it's even more amazing, continuous movement over 3 different floors at Highland Park. So that the chassis might start on the 3rd floor and it finishes on the 2nd floor as a completely finished car, having gone down to the 1st and come back up again. The amount of planning and ingenuity it took to offer continuous motion where the parts could be applied to the car was just staggering.
The technology spread like wildfire.
It shaped culture and it shaped the world because of an interesting fact. Ford gave it away. We invited our competitors and other industries to come and study our assembly line process.
Did it really spur the age of mass industrialization?
The assembly line 100% spurred mass industrialization because you began to see it applied to other industries. You always had your special, you're going to have Tiffany's making Tiffany jewelry, but if GE can then figure out how to make a light bulb using an autonomous process, and if all these other things can be done in assembly line process driven formula, then the world becomes a more efficient place.
The efficiency created new economies and spurred prosperity for many American families, like those of Felicia Ford and Jack Spitza.
Ford had built the assembly line, but he needed skilled trades and assembly workers to do it, and my family was part of that. My grandfather, he came up from Mississippi back in the 1920s. He started as a janitor and made it to a millwright. With that employment at Ford Motor Company, the $5 wage, he was able to raise a family of 14 children and be a middle-class family. That was unheard of back in the 20s and 30s. for African Americans.
And you're continuing that tradition.
I'm trying to continue that. I started in powertrain V6 and V8 engines, and now I'm on electrified vehicles, which is electrified powertrain. So it's a full circle.
Grew up middle class, right here in Detroit, hearing the stories around the dinner table of what it was to be a manufacturer and what it meant to the economy. It was what I pursued as a career.
What does that kind of invention, that kind of engineering, that kind of ingenuity mean when it comes to the American story?
It's really about rate efficiency, waste elimination and efficiency. And we just get better at what we do every day.
And that was Mike Duffy reporting. As you may know, folks, we will have various stories celebrating America leading up to our nation's 250th celebration. You can check them out on our website, and all you have to do is go to christv.com/America250. There you will find the different stories highlighting our nation. And on the evening of July 4th, we will have a 1-hour program for our America 250 special right here on Chris 6. It starts at 6 o'clock.
Well, good Monday morning there, Coastal Bend. Taking a look at our past radar view over the last 3 hours at least. You could see some of the heaviest downpours working their way through northern San Patricio County into Aransas and Refugio counties, but also seeing some of the extra development just off into the waters of the Gulf right now. Going to see more of this work into the area as we go through about the next few hours, and especially after the sunrise comes up. Looking closer at this storm working into Refugio County, looks like it's just in between Refugio and Bayside right now. Aransas Pass might get another round of some heavy rain here in another 5 to 10 minutes, and also keep in mind Skidmore up there might get a little bit of heavy rain also coming on the way. Also looking closer to Corpus Christi, most of the city itself is okay, but working over towards the island, getting in on one of these heavy downpours. So if you're going to hit 361, it's definitely something to keep in mind out there. Now through the rest of our Monday, the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center has put us under this moderate risk of excessive rainfall for today. That slight risk off towards the northwest, closer to San Antonio and the I-35 corridor. Going through today, we're expecting more of those heavy downpours and thunderstorms at times, so could quickly lead to some of that ponding on the roadways. Taking a look here in Corpus Christi from our studio Skycam, 76 degrees here in town, winds out of the southeast about 3 miles an hour, and looks like the International Airport has totaled up about 3/10 of an inch of rain coming down so far from that storm working through the area earlier this morning. Temperature-wise, not looking too jacket-worthy though. Back into the 70s and 80s out there, 82 degrees in Ingleside, 83 the hot spot in Port Aransas. Those 70s as you work your way inland, freer 77 degrees, and that's the same for Hebbronville, San Diego, and Alice sitting at that 78 degree mark so far. With our Lion of Utah Animal Services dog walking forecast now, today's star going to be Bailey Dungan on the board. They're from Aransas County, says their favorite place to go on a walk is around the neighborhood there in Rockport, and as we're heading out there, could be a little rainy is the only thing for Bailey's walk this morning. 83 degrees by 10 a.m. and then 84 by that lunchtime hour with more scattered showers and storms throughout the morning hours. Wind-wise, sustained out of the south about 10 miles an hour, but if you do find yourself next to one of those storms, I could bet it's probably going to get closer to that 20-mile-an-hour mark. Now going through the future tracker like we talked about with the sunrise, expecting more of these scattered downpours and thunderstorms at times. This is going to be the trend we continue with as we're heading into the afternoon. We're still seeing those heavy downpours, and that's why we're going to see that flood watch in effect all day through today and into tomorrow. We could quickly see some of that ponding on the roadways and high water coming over them. As we go into tonight, still dealing with those pockets of heavy downpours as the system slowly meanders its way across the coastal bend. You can see that swirl trying to work through the area, just that low pressure system continuing to provide a source of lift for these showers and storms to get going. Finally, by the time we're heading in towards Wednesday morning, that's where we expect most of the activity to shift off further towards the Gulf and off to the east. In the big weather picture, though, that tropical moisture isn't the only thing giving us a source of lift. This stalled frontal boundary is the other thing that's working in from the north. The combination of the two, the recipe for some of those hot, heavy downpours at times as we go from today and into tomorrow. Luckily, it's a little cooler out there in the mid-80s as a result of the rain-cooled air, but rain chances going down means temperatures are going back up as we head into Wednesday. 90 degrees, 92 there on Thursday with plenty of sunshine, and we hold on to a lot of that heat into the weekend with overnight lows chasing the 80-degree mark by Friday night.
Stephen, thank you so much. Coming up a little later, President Donald Trump says the U.S. and Iran are reaching a deal when it's expected to be signed.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hello, Chris 6. My name is Crystal. I'm at Raising Cane's in Portland, and I just wanted to wish all my neighbors across the coastal bend a great morning and a great day.
Hey, good morning, Crystal, and everyone over at Raising Cane's. We hope you guys all have a wonderful day as well. And folks, if you want to send us your own shout out video, all you have to do is scan the QR code on your screen or go to our website, christv.com. Now, folks, we got to tell you about some power outages this morning. This is according to AEP Texas. In San Patricio County, it looks like 84 customers are reporting power outages in that area. Now, we're going to take a look at Nueces County. It looks like 1,018 customers are reporting power outages in that area with a restoration time of 12 p.m. In Refugio, 179 customers are reporting power outages over there. The estimated restoration time is 10:30 a.m. Now let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones. He has a look at our forecast because I know a lot was going on this morning, but it's a little bit quiet right now. Quieter, I should say.
Yeah, absolutely. Good morning, Michelle. You know, we're starting to see a little bit of a lull here in Corpus Christi, but it's already knocking on our doorstep once again. For our island neighbors, they're already seeing some of those heavy downpours. The storm that worked through Corpus Christi earlier has since pushed off towards the north into San Patricio, Aransas, and Refugio counties now. You can see just those yellows showing up on the radar. Still some fairly heavy rain, at least that moderate rainfall coming down into areas like Aransas Pass through trade winds, and looks like Bayside's starting to come out in the clear now on the other side of it. Here closer to Corpus Christi, still quiet on the south side for most of the south side at least and downtown. But once you get into Flower Bluff and the island, if you're hitting the causeway, definitely already seeing some of that moderate to heavy rainfall at times. Something you want to be mindful of as we're heading through these next few hours as these showers and storms continue to work into the area. Getting a wider radar view, you could see that storm that did work through pushing off to the north, but more development right behind it into the water, and more of this is going to be expected after we see that sunrise here in about another 10 to 15 minutes and going through the rest of the day. That's going to be the story as we go through our entire Monday, just these rounds of showers and storms at times. Looking like a good day to bring the umbrella or rain jacket along. Luckily, those rain chances start to dry up through the rest of the week by the time we're heading into Wednesday and Thursday, but still, it's also going to give us a little bit of rain-cooled air today into those mid-80s for our daytime highs for most of us thanks to the rain-cooled air. But let's get you ready for your Monday morning as you're getting ready to hit the roadways. Still dealing with the heavy showers at times, but luckily it hasn't made for too many of those downpours out there right now. So something you want to keep in mind, we'll take a closer look at that future tracker though. That's going to be coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you. After the break, President Donald Trump says the U.S. and Iran are reaching a deal when it's expected to be signed. President Donald Trump says United States and Iran are reaching a deal. Iranian state media broadcasting also made the announcement yesterday. President Trump shared the news on Truth Social, saying the deal was complete and he had authorized the opening of the Strait of Hormuz and would be removing the U.S. blockade. The agreement is scheduled to be signed Friday in Switzerland. 12 people have died following a skydiving plane crash in Butler, Missouri. Federal Aviation Administration officials say their aircraft went down after departing from Butler Memorial Airport at around 11:30 Sunday morning. The airport's acting manager says the plane was unable to gain altitude and made a sharp left turn, possibly attempting to land when it crashed. The NTSB is investigating with the FAA. American singer and comedian Oliver Tree is believed to be one of the 6 passengers killed in a Brazil helicopter crash yesterday. 2 helicopters collided over Rio de Janeiro, killing everyone on board. The military fire department said one of the helicopters crashed into the parking lot of a car dealership with several parked electric vehicles. Those vehicles started a fire that was later extinguished. Oliver Tree is listed as a passenger, but police have not been able to identify the 6 people on board. An investigation is underway to determine the cause of the collision. Oysters play a pivotal role in the ecosystem, and the Hart Research Institute is helping with restoration projects. After the break, a look at how it works. Right now on Chris 6 Sunrise, a local nonprofit is launching a new initiative aimed at raising awareness for children in foster care. Coming up, how you can sign up and speak up. And a little later, if you've lost track of all the latest water updates, you're probably not alone. We have details on the next information session and your chance to get answers. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Chris 6 Sunrise. Thank you so much for starting your day with us. I'm Michelle Hoffman. Brian Hoffman is off, but folks, we do have a couple of outages to tell you about. Some power outages according to AEP Texas. This morning in San Patricio County, 84 customers are reporting outages in that area. Now moving on over to Refugio, we have 179 customers reporting outages in that area as well. And Nueces County, there are 1,018 customer outages, and it looks like their estimated restoration time is 12 p.m. Now let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones. He has a look at our forecast, and they are most likely the culprit, right? The weather is causing all these troubles, right?
It is at least potentially a cause of some of those outages for sure, and the unfortunate thing is going through the rest of Monday and through the rest of our Tuesday tomorrow, we're expecting more heavy downpours, more thunderstorms, and likely to see more of those power outages at times. So something we're preparing for, and also when you can take that into account with our already fairly saturated soils over the rains we've received over the past few weeks, that's what's led the National Weather Service to issue this flood watch in effect now currently through tomorrow evening at about 7 p.m. This is for the entire coastal bend with more of those heavy downpours on the way. Looking at our current radar view, this storm worked through Corpus Christi earlier, now is pushed off to the north, getting ready to head into Refugio itself. It's in southern Refugio County right now. Also some small cells there into just south of Beeville, closer to Skidmore right now. This is the storm that did work through the area, but we've got more on the way. Here in Corpus Christi, at least closer to downtown, still quiet right now, but as you work your way onto the south side, some of that light rain, and as you work your way over towards Flower Bluff and the Causeway this morning, that's where we're dealing with some of that heavier rain and taking the wider radar view, starting to see more of that development over the waters right now and expecting more as we go through the rest of our Monday. Temperature-wise, going to shape up in those 80s today, a little cooler than last week thanks to the rain cool air, but looking like a good one to bring the umbrella or rain jacket along because it's going to be plenty of downpours to go around. But let's get you ready for your Monday morning. On the traffic flow map, haven't been tracking too many slowdowns out there so far, but still want to be mindful of any high water over the roadways. If you're hitting the Harbor Bridge to and from Portland, looking at that good and green color flow right now, that's the same for our Robstown and Calallen commuters, both 37 and 44 coming in the clear so far. Here in Corpus Christi, Ocean Drive, SPID, and Saratoga all coming in the clear. Even Crosstown Expressway looking pretty good so far, so let's take one more detour inland. Good morning to neighbors up there in Beeville. So far so good also on your map, so a good and green Monday morning for all of us, but keep in mind, like I talked about, those downpours are working through, so you want to watch out for any high water over the roadways. We'll get you a look at that future tracker coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
Stephen, thank you so much. And a quick little update. Our producer just told me that Nueces County is only reporting about 600 power outages according to AEP. Now, folks, if you're looking for a way to change a child's life, CASA of the Coastal Bend says it may be easier than you think. The nonprofit is calling on community members to step up as court-appointed special advocates or CASA volunteers. They'll help children navigating the foster care system. And you know, I've shared stories in the past and witnessed the impact firsthand. These volunteers undergo extensive screening and training before being appointed by a judge to advocate for a child's best interest in court and throughout the child welfare process. And if becoming an advocate isn't possible right now, CASA says there are still meaningful ways to help. The organization is launching a new initiative called Sign Up and Speak Up, aimed at raising awareness for children in foster care. Businesses with billboards, windows, or counter space, and families with room for a yard sign can help spread the word by displaying CASA materials. Community groups, churches, workplaces, and organizations can also invite CASA representatives to speak about the need for advocates and how more people can get involved. To learn more, visit coastalbendcasa.org. And you know, CASA of the Coastal Bend currently serves about 400 children at any given time. Many have experienced abuse, neglect, or other traumatic circumstances. Over in Kingsville, there will be a change in the sanitation schedule this week. Residential service originally set for Thursday will take place on Wednesday. Service set on Friday will take place on Thursday. Commercial sanitation services, which normally take place on Thursdays and Fridays, will now take place on Thursday. This is in observance of Juneteenth holiday, and services will resume their normal schedule on Monday.
I'm John Matarese. If you buy something like a big TV and it doesn't work, you figure you can return it if you have the receipt. But not always. I have a caution for anyone buying a big ticket item.
Right now on Chris 6 Sunrise, with summer now here, many of us in Texas already know it's only going to get hotter. But how do we make sure to stay hydrated in the heat? I'll explain coming up. Plus, there are several different heat-related illnesses that you need to be on the lookout for, how you can help jump into action for someone impacted by the heat. And President Donald Trump says the U.S. and Iran are reaching a deal when it's expected to be signed.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
The city of Corpus Christi is getting ready to host its 4th community water session. This will take place next Wednesday on June 24th. It will be over at the Moody High School Gymnasium. The city manager and Corpus Christi water staff will be available to answer questions for residents. The session starts at 6 p.m.
Hey everyone, I'm Drew Bishop, and a new option for desalination may have hit a roadblock. Here's what we know. Friday's weekly water briefing was led by Corpus Christi Water's Nick Winkleman. But one of my questions triggered an appearance from city manager Peter Zanoni. Take a look.
With the Barney Davis site, does the city have exclusive negotiating rights with CPS for that space?
The city of Corpus Christi does not have an exclusivity on that private property.
But then Zanoni comes to the mic to clarify.
Yeah, Nick may have not been in San Antonio when we went up recently, but CPS has indicated to us, their CEO, Rudy Garza, that they, being CPS Energy, wants to deal exclusively with the city. Not with anybody else.
Let's break this down into simpler terms. The Barney Davis Power Plant, which sits along the Laguna Madre in Flower Bluff, has been discussed as a potential desalination location for decades. City Council voted unanimously in March to explore options for desal at the location. But the city has to work with CPS Energy, who owns the property. Now here's where Axe H2O comes in. Their business proposal narrowed down Barney Davis as the one location for their desal option.
We've down selected, as specifically after a meeting with CPS Energy's CEO, Rudy Garza Jr., on the 28th of May.
But when the city received their business proposal, their response was, in short, that if Axe H2O has no land agreement with CPS to use the Barney Davis location, they can't proceed. So that brings us back to the city manager, who says
that they, being CPS Energy, wants to deal exclusively with the city. Not with anybody else.
So we have two sides to this story. Axe H2O, who says they met with CPS, and the city, who says CPS is dealing with them exclusively. I called and emailed CPS earlier today to get clarification, but they did not respond by my deadline. I'll continue to follow this story and keep you updated. Reporting from the studio, I'm Drew Bishop for Chris 6 News.
Drew, thank you so much. Expect traffic delays on the westbound side of the JFK Causeway starting today. TxDOT is closing a single lane for a maintenance project. Crews will be there from 9 until 4 every day, and the westbound closures will last through the end of June. Then work will switch to the eastbound lanes. Now, with summer here, we can expect to see warmer temperatures, but for those of you who are spending your first summer here in Texas, there's still plenty of time for the weather to only get hotter. Something to keep in mind are a couple of different steps you can take to help prevent heat stroke. Most people know to drink the proper amount of water, but a report from the CDC shows there are some groups that do not drink nearly enough water. This includes children and adolescents. This is often seen in younger children, non-Hispanic Black children, compared to non-Hispanic white children, youth in low-income households, those with underweight or normal weight compared to those with obesity. But when it comes to adults, the report shows plain water intake was significantly lower in older adults, non-Hispanic Black adults, adults with lower income and less education, and adults without obesity. But what does the proper amount of water look like? Well, the CDC says all children and adolescents should drink an average of 23 ounces of water per day. For all adults, the average should be right around 44 ounces per day.
Researchers with the CDC say that there are several different heat-related illnesses that can happen. Heat stroke is the most serious heat-related illness. It can cause permanent disability or death if there's no emergency treatment. Heat exhaustion is the body's response to an excessive loss of water and salt. This typically happens through excessive sweating. Heat syncope is a fainting episode or dizziness that happens when standing for too long or suddenly standing up after sitting or lying lying down. Factors do include dehydration. Heat cramps impact workers who do lots of strenuous activities. This can deplete the body's salt and moisture levels. Heat rash is a skin irritation which is caused by excessive sweating during hot, humid weather. In a moment's notice, you can always move the person suffering from heat-related illness to a cool area to lie down. If there's not a cooler location, go to a less humid environment. One example of this is a vehicle with air conditioning. Find a cool location for them to lie down in as well. Encourage the person to either take sips or slowly drink water. The Mayo Clinic has a few different suggestions when it comes to preventing heat exhaustion, which often leads to heat stroke. Wear loose-fitting clothing. This will allow your body to cool properly. Use sunscreen to help protect yourself from sunburn. If you don't have sunscreen, use a wide-brim hat or sunglasses. Make sure you do not leave anyone in a parked car without air conditioning running. This includes the elderly, children, and pets. This is because temperatures in your car can rise 20 degrees in just 10 minutes. As of right now, NoHeatStroke.org says that there have been a total of 6 pediatric vehicular heat stroke deaths just this year across the U.S. Between 1998 and 2025, Texas has reported 155 pediatric deaths. Because of this, Texas ranks 35 with the highest per capita. The website also looked at the circumstances with media reports during the 28-year period. It shows 59.2% were forgotten by a caregiver, 23.8% gained access to the vehicle on their own, and 21.9% were knowingly left by a caregiver.
Now, folks, we have to look at AEP Texas website because there are some power outages in your neighborhood. Refugio is reporting 179 customers with power outages this morning. San Patricio County, 85 customers are reporting outages in that area. And over in Nueces County, 365 customers reporting outages, which is actually good news, some improvement that we're seeing this morning, because I know earlier in our hour there were 1,000 customers, now down to 365, but still, you guys got to check in on your friends and family, make sure they're doing okay. Well, good morning, meteorologist Stephen Jones. I know some of the weather may have played a role into some of this.
Oh, absolutely. Good morning, Michelle. The storm that rolled through the area earlier potentially did play a role in knocking out some of those outages or putting up some of those outages going through the rest of our Monday and into Tuesday. I wouldn't be surprised to see that number increase. Once again, we're expecting more of those widespread downpours at times and heavy downpours and thunderstorms working their way through the area. Here's our radar view over the past 3 hours, and you can see the storm that did work through Corpus Christi now has worked its way off to the north into Refugio and Beeville County, but on the back end of it, seeing more of that development working its way over the waters right now, starting to push into areas like our island neighborhoods. But taking a look over towards Beeville, looks like some of that heavier rain working its way into the north side of town and along 202. Refugio getting in on some of the light rain right now as that storm's continuing its trek off towards the north. Closer to Corpus Christi, still fairly quiet, closer to downtown and for the south side, but after you work your way closer to the causeway and the island, definitely getting some of those heavy downpours once again reported on the radar out there. And like I talked about through the rest of the day, we're expecting more of that. That's what's led the National Weather Service Weather Prediction Center to highlight us in this moderate risk for excessive rainfall as we're going through our Monday. Wouldn't be surprised to see tomorrow also shape up out there. And as we're looking at our Monday morning right now, it's still a little quiet here in Corpus Christi, at least downtown, like we talked about. You saw on the radar those darker clouds over the water closer to the island. 76 degrees for right now with winds out of the southeast about 6 miles an hour. And luckily, we've already picked up about 3/10 of an inch of rain over at the International Airport. Likely to see that number also increase through the rest of today. Temperature-wise, into the 70s and 80s. 76 here in town. Across the board, 77 degrees in Duval County there towards San Diego. But once you work your way closer to the coast, 80 on the money in Rockport. 82 as our warm spot in Ingleside this morning so far. Now, on our Lion of Utah Animal Services dog walking forecast, today we've got Bailey Dungan as our star of the day. They're from Aransas County and says their favorite place to take a walk is over in their neighborhood in Rockport. As we're heading out there for Bailey's walk, maybe a good idea to bring the rain booties along because it's going to be a pretty rainy morning with those scattered showers and storms throughout it. 83 degrees by 10 a.m. up to 84 by that lunchtime hour. Wind-wise, out of the south, about 10 miles per hour sustained winds, but if you do find yourself next to any of those heavy downpours, wouldn't be surprised to see those winds get a little bit stronger out out there. On the future tracker going through today with the daylight heating starting up now that we've got the sunrise out there, still expecting more of those downpours to start taking shape, especially as we work our way inland across the coastal bend. They're not too much inland right now. They're closer to the coast. Heading into the evening, this model at least wants to give us a little bit of a break, but still holding on to some of those downpours as we're heading closer to dinner time. Heading into tonight, as the system slowly meanders its way across the coastal bend, we're still dealing with the scattered showers and embedded heavy downpours heading through the overnight time frame. You can see the swirl of that system as it slowly works its way closer to the water as we're heading through tomorrow night. Into Wednesday morning, we finally see the last remnants of it working its way over the area before those rain chances dry up. But not only the tropical moisture is working its way through the area, the stalled frontal boundary working its way through central Texas, also responsible for some of the lift. So it's a good recipe with both the stalled frontal boundary and that tropical moisture going to lead to some of those heavy downpours today and tomorrow for us before it finally starts to dry up into Wednesday and temperatures go up. 90 degrees is what we'll be back at by Wednesday afternoon. More of that sunshine into the back half of the week means we hold on to the 90s into the weekend, and overnight lows going from those mid-70s up to 80 degrees as we're heading into the weekend.
I'm Jada Strayer, and check this out. I'm at Hart Research Institute getting a look into their oyster restoration projects and their impact in the coastal bend. Dr. Jennifer Pollack is the endowed chair for coastal conservation and restoration at the Institute.
We've lost over 90% of oyster reefs compared to historic levels, and so there's a real need to preserve what we have and also to restore what's been lost. We've recycled over 3.5 million pounds of oyster shell, and we've recycled those shells back into the water to rebuild over 45 acres of oyster reef.
Those recycled shells come from over 24 restaurants, oyster farms, and seafood festivals across the coastal bend through the Sink Your Shucks program.
An oyster can filter dozens and dozens of gallons of water over the course of a day, and so that means that all of the oysters across all of the reefs in the coastal bend are just making cleaner, clearer bay waters for us to fish in and swim in and do all the things that we like.
But the benefits go beyond water quality. These reefs act as natural storm barriers as well.
We know that oyster reefs, if they're close to the shore in shallow water, they can reduce the wave height of waves coming in by up to 50%. So that is a huge benefit for all of our roads and our infrastructure, our houses, hotels, everything that we like that's located right along the shoreline to help protect it.
Graduate student McKenna Reinsch showed me creatures living in what she calls shell cakes, small cement structures mixed with recycled oyster shells.
What's really cool that I'm seeing today is that on those little shell cakes, I'm seeing a lot of juvenile fish that typically we don't see in the shell bags, so it's almost like they're acting as a nursery.
The oysters you eat end up back in the Gulf rebuilding reefs one oyster at a time. Reporting from Hart Research Institute, I'm Jada Strayer, Chris 6 News.
Jada, thank you so much. Not every purchase is a hit, and in fact, some stores give you only a tiny window to decide. So Scripps News Group consumer reporter John Matarese shows us why to check a store's return policy before you buy so you don't waste your money.
If you look closely at a receipt, you'll usually see the store's return policy. You don't want to ignore it. One customer just learned the hard way you could end up with something you don't want, or worse, a TV that's completely busted.
Walk into Michael Saylor's home and you can't miss the 65-inch TV right in the entranceway.
They left it right on the porch. I took 3 steps in, gently sat it down, and there it sat in the box for 2.5 weeks.
He claims when he finally opened the box, he discovered
the entire top is shattered.
Saylor went back to Best Buy where he bought it, but
they explained to me that they have a 15-day, 14-day return policy, and I was beyond it.
He claims no one had warned him.
Guess I'm old school. I thought everyone still did 30 days. I was really shocked.
But it's clearly on Best Buy's webpage, you have 15 days to return most electronics, unless you're a rewards member where you get 60 days. It's not just TVs or Best Buy. Kevin Brassler with Consumers Checkbook says shoppers may have just weeks or days for major appliances and electronics. Apple has a similar 2-week window for MacBooks.
They usually have to sell them as a refurbished item or an open box item. It's more difficult for them to get the full value back.
For every $100 in sales, consumers return nearly $16, a costly figure. To account for shorter return windows, shoppers should unbox items right away, plug it in to make sure it's working, and keep receipts. If you're past the return window and something doesn't work, still ask for a refund.
Even though a retailer might have a shorter return window, they should stand behind the stuff they're selling.
Saylor says Best Buy offered a $75 gift card, but he's hoping for more. more. The company tells us they're looking into his case, reiterating the 2-week return policy. Sailor warns others not to wait.
You're remodeling, you're doing something, and you don't get around to opening everything immediately.
So open that box on delivery so you don't waste your money. John Mettery, Scripps News Group.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
The City of Corpus Christi will host their 4th community water session next Wednesday. It will be over at the Moody High School gym at 6. Starting at 9, the JFK Causeway will be under construction. TxDOT is closing a single lane for a maintenance project. Work will take place until 4. President Donald Trump says United States and Iran are reaching a deal. He says he authorized the opening of the Strait of Hormuz and would be removing the U.S. blockade. The agreement is scheduled to be signed by Friday. Oil prices are dropping after news of a peace deal between the United States and Iran. The drop in oil prices is welcome news for Americans, especially as the summer travel season gets underway. And the CDC says the mosquito is the deadliest animal in the world. About a dozen of them spread germs that can cause illnesses. But you can't tell if a mosquito is making you sick when it bites. Nara Organics powdered infant formula is being recalled due to the potential risk of botulism. The formula was distributed nationally across Target retail stores and platforms. No deaths have been reported. Now let's have a final look at your forecast with meteorologist Stephen Jones. And you know what, Stephen? The weather already canceled my weekend plans. I'm having a positive outlook, though, for the rest of the week.
Oh, well, there we go. That's a good Monday morning right there, of course. And as we're heading into it, we're seeing a few more of those showers and storms. So hopefully we don't have too many early week plans as we're heading out there, but I still wouldn't cancel them too much. Just keep an eye on the weather, of course. On our SPID Skycam, you can see the wet roadways from the rain we've already seen this morning. 78 degrees here in town with about 0.3 of an inch falling over at the International Airport. On the current traffic flow map, still looking good and green out there across the Harbor Bridge. And if you're hitting 37 or 44 for our Calallen and Robstown commuters. Here in Corpus Christi, though, for our major thoroughfares, also looking pretty good and green across the board. Only some minor slowdowns on Saratoga as you're coming closer to Airline and Rodfield Road. But let's get you that forecast as we're heading out for the day, of course. Currently on the radar, not too bad out there, but seeing a little bit of that activity. First focusing on this storm that worked through the area earlier, has since pushed off to the north, affecting areas like Refugio, along 202 through Beeville right now. This is where we're seeing some of that heaviest rain, but also seeing some redevelopment on the back end of this system. Closer to Corpus Christi, the south side, not too bad, but from Flower Bluff across the causeway and into the island, also seeing some heavy downpours on the radar out there. And as we get the widest radar view, you can see more of that activity over the waters right now. Should start to see more of this spreading inland after we go through the next few hours. Looking at our Sunset Island cam, courtesy of Matthew CCAC, plenty of cloud cover, and that's what we can expect today when we're not getting the rain. Other than that, we're going to be dealing with the rounds of showers and storms with heavy downpours embedded within throughout the day. Temperatures into the mid 80s as we're heading into this afternoon with winds out of the southeast, so even though it's a little cooler, still going to be feeling that mugginess as you're heading out there today. And we're dealing with this heavy rain as we're going from today into tomorrow before those rain chances finally start to dry up as we're heading into Wednesday and Thursday. Current rainfall estimates calling for a widespread amount of about 2 to 5 inches here locally, with even higher totals potentially under the heaviest downpours out there. On the 7-day forecast, luckily, like I talked about, those rain chances going to dry up as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, and those temperatures go up 92 degrees by Thursday as we hold on to plenty of that heat heading into the weekend.
Stephen, thank you. And you know what? A smile can go a long way. Today is National Smile Power Day. According to National Day calendar, the day is observed every June 15th. It's done in hopes of a chain reaction in making a person smile, causing them to make another person smile. For you to celebrate, just think of a few happy moments that made you automatically smile. Maybe also save a couple of short jokes to tell throughout the day and make a list of things you're grateful for. You can also show off your smile on social media using the hashtag #SmilePowerDay. I love that so much. I love how a day is set aside just for everybody to experience some joy and smile, perhaps.
Yeah, you know, just put a little positivity into it, because I mean, I know the weather also kind of brings things down sometimes, so maybe that's a good thing for today especially.
Yeah, well, good things to smile about because we needed that rain, right?
Absolutely.
Well, Stephen, thank you so much. Folks, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you later tonight. We'll have more news from your neighborhood.